What is going on, everybody? I am Rob Westerman, the third of GBP Daily, and thank you for tuning in to the Rob Westerman Show. You can find me all over social media at GBP Daily, and if you are not already, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. I would greatly appreciate that. It is Wednesday, January 22nd, and we as Packers fans are a little over a week removed from an uninspiring loss to the end of the season over there in Philadelphia. What now? What do we possibly do without Packers football? I, of course, am watching the playoffs and have had a few successful hate watch games with both the Vikings and Lions getting blown out to end their season. That was great to see. And now we wait for the Chiefs to bow out as well. Big-time Bills fan over here. So I'd like to see them, out of all teams, win it this year. It was either them or the Ravens. That's who I was rooting for, and the Bills took them out, so hopefully they can follow suit and do so against the Chiefs as well. As for the Packers goes, some questions looming this offseason that we'll dive into over the next few months for sure. What's going to happen with Jair? He was last talked to by a reporter in the locker room last Monday about if he would speak to the media that day or not, and he declined. So he said he did not have anything good to say, and he does not know whether or not he will be back in Green Bay next year. So not looking too good on that front. I love Jair. He's been one of my favorite players on the Packers since we drafted him, but he's just missed too many games, and that's just kind of the unfortunate reality of his situation. He's great when he's on the field, for sure, but availability is the best ability in the NFL, and over the last few seasons, he has not been able to stay healthy, unfortunately. Jordan Love was this past season a sophomore slump? I don't think so. I do know his knee injury played a big part in his performance throughout the season, but didn't seem like he could ever get into a rhythm. Were our wide receivers good enough? Absolutely not. Is Keyshawn Nixon done being a kick returner? I doubt it. Can Lucas Van Ness start to play like a first rounder? A lot of questions that'll need to be answered this upcoming offseason and season. And although it was a disappointing end to our season, the future is absolutely looking bright. Without further ado, let's hop into the chat and see what the vibe is like on this beautiful Wednesday. Hope your guys' week is going good. As for me, I spent the weekend in enemy territory up in Minneapolis. Did a little snowboarding, some shopping at the Mall of America. Had a pretty good time. Yosef, how would you rate this past season as far as enjoyment goes? What's going on, Yosef? Well, I always enjoy Packers football, good, bad, terrible, great, of course. But it doesn't matter. I'll always be happier when it is football season for us or when the game is on. But I can't even really pinpoint a super exciting moment from this past season. The blocked field goal for the win was a fun moment against Chicago, but at the same time, I was so frustrated in the fact that it even came down to that. And I know I should probably take a moment like that for what it is, an exciting play to win the game, but it also kind of told you what this team was. They were an average to an above average team. They beat teams they were supposed to beat and lost to the teams they were supposed to lose to. I think what I did enjoy the most about this past season, though, was watching Josh Jacobs play. He comes in here and was, in my opinion, clearly the best player on our entire team. Similar feeling to when Xavier McKinney was on that interception streak. It seemed like almost every week we were bound to see him get a pick, which we did for quite a while there. That was fun to watch as well. Overall, though, not a ton of crazy moments. Brandon McManus hit a couple game winners against the Texans and the Jags. Watching Malik Willis keep us afloat and ball out when he was out there was pretty fun. So, yeah, I mean, there wasn't a ton of awesome singular moments from this past season that really pop out at me. But, yeah, I'm always happier when Packers football is on. No doubt about that. Pine, good afternoon from Tucson. Let us keep the new kicker and use him more often. Absolutely no pass rush. We couldn't pressure a freshman on prom. It was pathetic. Yeah, Brandon McManus definitely needs to be back. Just to not have any sort of questions during OTAs, during minicamp, during training camp with the kicker spot, I think would be a great idea. And yeah, he was 21 of 22 on field goals during the regular season. So he did very well during the regular season. Now, missing that kick against Philly was a tough way to end the year for Brandon McManus, but I would love to see him back. Absolutely in agreement with you there, Pine. Appreciate you hopping in. Have yourself a great Wednesday. My man, Rakeem. What's up, Rob? My number one wish list for the Packers is to bring back Devontae. I'm with you, my man. Rakeem, you are in lockstep with me. I would love to see Devontae back in Green Bay. I personally don't think that our wide receiver room lived up to the hype. I think they were very disappointing. Romeo has some concussion injuries that he's battling. We'll see how that affects his year next year. He was also suspended for a game. Christian Watson, we all know the story with him, unfortunately, will be out majority of the next year. A lot of questions in that wide receiver room, and Devontae coming back would definitely alleviate the pressure overall there for sure. Nick, what do we think about the Lions moving forward? Well, I was thinking and hoping that they wouldn't have won anything noteworthy this postseason because they were just hit so hard with injuries. Now they've lost both their offensive coordinator and Ben Johnson to the Bears and their defensive coordinator, Aaron Glenn, to the Jets. So Dan Campbell, who I think is a heck of a coach, is going to have a chance to prove that even more next year with having to fill the void of those two guys. I'll never worry about the Lions, though, especially with Jared Goff being back there. He had a great regular season, no doubt about it, but when it mattered most, he croaked. 3 picks, a lost fumble at home, just inexcusable. And until they win something noteworthy, you won't find me worrying about them one bit. Thank you, Nick, for hopping in. Appreciate you, Jason. I would rather have T. Higgins. Well, Jason, T. Higgins has actually missed more games than Christian Watson has over the last few years. I'm not saying that you personally are complaining about the Christian Watson injuries, but I know a lot of the fan base is, and that is the one caveat with T. Higgins is that he has missed a lot of time due to injury. and whatnot. So I wouldn't mind T. Higgins, though. I wouldn't mind T. Higgins. I do expect him to get franchise tagged over in Cincinnati. So I do not think he will be an option come free agency. But we'll see. Never say never, right? Thanks, Jason, for hopping on. Appreciate you, my man. Phil, that clown Ben Johnson doesn't own nobody, especially LaFleur. Yeah, I'm not sure if you guys have seen the Ben Johnson quote that is floating around over the last couple hours about how he enjoyed beating Matt LaFleur twice a year, all this stuff. And yeah, it just kind of goes in one ear and out the other. It seems like every offseason for sure and during the season, there's a lot of talking coming from the Bears side of things, whether it's from a coach in this instance or mainly from the players. A lot of talk coming from them, but you don't really hear that from our guys. We're focused on bigger and better things than the Bears. That is for sure. Thank you, Phil. Hope the skiing adventure was great. It was. I personally snowboarded, and I got rocked up pretty good, but still a little sore. But hey, it is what it is, right? Thanks for hopping in, Phil. What else we got going on? Haley, anything off-season fun? Any off-season fun you're looking forward to? Long time no talk, Haley. Well, free agency and the draft is always fun. What I'm looking forward to most, though, is OTAs, minicamp. Hopefully they'll have a few open to the public this year. But regardless, my family and I will be up in Green Bay for those. Training camp is a blast. We'll be up there for that as well. That's always a fun time. Always so exciting with the thought of the season approaching and all the optimism surrounding our squad, which there will be plenty of this next season. Always a fun time, but man, still seems crazy that the year is already over. Seems like just yesterday we were starting off the season against the Eagles down in Brazil. So started off with the Eagles, started off with a loss to the Eagles, and ended the year with a loss to the Eagles. So yikes. All right, guys, that is going to do it for me today as far as the show goes. But as you know, the content never stops. I'm always posting anything Packers related all day long. So be sure to follow me at GBP Daily on every social platform. And if you are not already, it would mean a ton if you could subscribe to the YouTube channel at GBP Daily as well. I will be back and at it again tomorrow. So I look forward to seeing you all then. And until then, I'll catch you guys later. Thank you.